Welcome back to another episode of 7,000 Volts, Living an Electrified Life. You know me, you know my smile by now, you know my face. I am your host, LJ Tucker. This week, it's Christmas. It's that time of year. It's that holiday. It's that time of year that everybody gets anxious. Everybody gets burdened down throughout the noise that's going on. We feel obligated to get everybody in our circle, in our worlds, gifts. But that's not the meaning of Christmas. And today, in this episode, we're going to talk about the true meaning of Christmas versus the world version of Christmas. Okay, let's dive right into it.
Empowering you to live a life fully charged. This is 7,000 Volts, Living an Electrified Life with LJ Tucker.
The world says more money, more gifts, more lights, the better, the bigger, the louder. Look at me. Hey, look at me. It's so loud that we get lost in the crowd. Like, hey, which way do I go? Do I go here? Should I get this TV? Should I get that TV? How many gifts should I get my kids? I hope they like this gift. Should I do this? Should I get them 10 gifts apiece? Well, that's pretty easy in my household. I have 5 kids and they're not getting 10 or 20 gifts apiece. We decided, me and my wife Adele, a long time ago, 2 to 3, maybe 4 gifts apiece. We have a formula that we use on why we get what we get for the kids. And my kids, they're spoiled, and I will admit they're very spoiled. They're getting that electrified life that I didn't get growing up. So we spoil them, but we also educate them, especially this time of year. We give them the true meaning of what Christmas stands for. And it's not about the gifts. Yeah. In today's world, try telling that to a kid. And so we have to practice it before Christmas, throughout the year, so our kids have a good foundation. In order to have a good foundation, you can't wait. You definitely can't wait to Christmas to build that foundation. This is why you hear me say on the show, constantly building the foundation is key to your success. It's key to your growth. Understanding the formula. If you follow this podcast, it's week in and week out. It's almost like the same message, and it's just different topics saying the same thing over and over again. In a dark world of events and things that goes on around of us, we get an opportunity around Christmas to be extra good and extra nice to total strangers, people that we don't know, and to be grateful. And there's people less fortunate than us, than you, than me, and we try to do our part. And doing your part, it's not just showing up at church to hear the Christmas concert and sing a few Christmas carols. It's doing your part, being intentional about what can I do outside of myself to be a blessing to someone else. It don't have to be much. It can be mentorship. It can be just a kind gesture. Hey, that's a nice sweater that you have on. It can be like, hey, tomorrow's going to be a better day to the cashier. You never know. It's just doing something different. What can I do in a world of darkness sometimes? Because the world is really not dark. It's all that knows around us. What can I do to bring peace? What can I do to bring love? And that's what Christmas is. God chose a manger, a quiet place. Broad is the way, but narrow is the path. Like, this is, there's a representation when you say the manger. It's quiet. It's small. It doesn't require a big bang. And something so big and so significant was born in a manger. Just grasp that. Wasn't born in the back of a Ferrari or back of a Bentley or back of a mansion or at the top generals or top hospital in the country or the world. He was born in a manger. How significant is that? When you put the pieces of the puzzles to that, like, what are we really representing? When you think about Christmas, who are you representing? Are you trying to please everybody around you? Or are you trying to give thanks and reverence to the King's birthday? And when you do that, you have to look at the key details. And most people and some people, we don't always look at the details. We get caught up in we get caught up in what we're seeing, which is the noise. The significance of being born in a manger in the middle of the night, um, it's significant. You know, God brought the light of the world in the middle of the night. Man, if you can grasp what that means, like if you can really just grasp that, in the midst of darkness, at the darkest peak of night, God brought in the brightest light known to mankind. And when we get caught up in the dark, just let me just be clear: darkness never wins. Regardless of how doom and gloom it looks, it takes that peace. You have to be grounded and anchored. Electricity can't work if it's not grounded. Again, in my book, 7,000 Volts, Living an Electrified Life, I talked about more about electricity than I wanted to because I learned more about electricity after I was electrocuted back in 2007. So I'm going to say that again. Electricity don't work if it's not grounded. So something as powerful as electricity, if it can't power up and work, if it's not grounded, that's, we can pack our lunch and go home. We can eat it for a midnight snack because that's it right there. Once you become grounded, the electricity that you have within, and we can't operate life if we're not grounded. And your car can't work if it doesn't have a grounded battery. Your house electricity can't work if the power's not grounded. And so when we get stuck in that middle place of noise, we have to be still and ask ourselves this question: are we grounded, or are we just going with the flow, trying to keep up with what the world is throwing at us? Social media, TV, radio, friends, ungrounded friends. We're constantly have to deal with certain noises that happens in our world. If we're grounded enough to know to stay grounded, then it's like a cakewalk. It's funny because when I listen to my mentors and I listen to motivational messages and read motivational books, we all have the same enthusiasm. That's one thing I found in common is our enthusiasm. And it's like, this is so easy. It reminds me of the Geico commercial when they used to have the what was it? The caveman. You remember? It's so easy. A caveman can do it. And they had this big thing about a caveman that can do it. When I look at life and how far God has brought me through my journey, through my testimonies and all my trials and tribulations to where I'm at today, I'm baffled because I'm like, why couldn't it be like this from the beginning? Because life can be complicated when you're not grounded, but the way I operate and things that I do, it's pretty easy. So when I'm saying this here, stay grounded. It's pretty easy. It's simple as brushing your teeth in the morning. It's easier for me because this is the life that I chose, and I do it consistently every day. I strive to get better and be in a better place to where I'm at than I was yesterday. Like, that's my prayer when I get up. I want to be better than I was yesterday. I want to beat the LJ from yesterday. I want to beat the LJ from a year ago. And so when I have that mindset, it's easy because I want to be better than I was. I want to and I'm grateful because I want to go to a higher level in life, what life has to offer. And that's easy for me. So, but it's speaking French to somebody else that's not used to doing things a certain way. It's different when a person get caught in their ways and they only believe the sound of their own drum when everybody else is wrong and you're the only person right in your own mind, and the fruits of your labor shows just that. So it's hard for the person that don't have a mentor. It's hard for the person that hasn't been striving to be the best version of themselves. And it's hard for the person that don't have a mentor. And it's hard for a person that really just used to doing things a certain way. And so the way that you're doing things are pretty easy. And this is why you got pretty comfortable in doing it. but you're pretty upset with the results when you start bickering and complaining about your life. And so in order to get a different life, to enjoy Christmas, you have to do things a different way. You have to get grounded. How do you do it? Well, since Christmas is right around the corner, let's try doing something a little different. Try doing things this way, okay? Let's talk about the greatest gift. The greatest gift equals love, grace, and hope. You can't earn it. You don't earn it. You receive it, then you give it away. Christmas isn't about what's under the tree. It's about what's flowing through you. And when I say what's flowing through you, you heard me say on this podcast, this show before, if I had an orange in my hand and I squeezed that orange, I can't expect to get apple juice. So when I squeeze it, I'm going to get orange juice because that's what's inside of that orange. So inside of your heart, if there's not love, peace, and hope, when you're squeezed under pressure, what's going to come out of you is what's in you, whether it's envy, anger, bitterness. You know, I'm a tough cookie, especially if I'm riding. I rarely ride in the car with other people, but I was riding with a friend maybe a couple months ago, and I won't put him on blast. And somebody pulled in front of him, and it upset him. And like he said some choice words, and I'm like, "Whoa, are you okay?" I said, "Whoa, it's not that serious, man. Relax," because I handle traffic totally different. You know, I may say something under my tongue or something, but I always end it with, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." We're living in a day and age where road rage is at a different level. But again, back to topic, what's in you will always come out. So if you don't have love, peace, joy, and hope inside of your heart, when you under pressure, what's in you will come out. And so it's easy at times to get emotional and not be able to stay disciplined when people offend you. And it's okay to exchange and speak. I'm not saying be a hermit or whatever they call it. I'm not saying to be timid. But what I'm saying is learn how to put salt and pepper on things. Not a whole lot, just enough so you have that perfect seasoning. Choosing your words wisely. Being slow to anger, like the Bible says. Be slow to anger. And when you practice love, peace, and hope, that's what starts to guard your heart. And when your heart is guarded by love, peace, and hope, when you're squeezed under pressure, that's what's going to come out. Man, that it just felt good. I just felt chills when I said it. When you're squeezed under pressure, come on, say it like you mean it. When you're squeezed, when I am squeezed under pressure, love will come out. Because love will always prevail. How do I know? Because God is love. If you have him in your heart, when you're squeezed under that pressure, there's only one way to respond. You don't respond with these. You don't respond with this. You respond with love. Whatever that situation is, that you respond with that love. And so when we remember that we are the gift at Christmas. So when you're under pressure and people try to make you feel a certain way, like, "Hey, what did you get me for Christmas this year?" You'd be like, "I'm glad you asked." And you walk up to them and give them the biggest hug that you ever gave them and say, "Merry Christmas. I am the gift." And if you can look a person in the eyes and not get caught up in the noise and say, "I am the gift," then you understand what Christmas really means. This week, as you're rushing out to get those last minute gifts, as you're being pressured to go get that toy or that car or whatever's in your mind that you've been pressured that you feel you have to go and get, I leave you with this. Slow down this week. Be present. Forgive. Love intentionally. Who you become matters more than what you get. Stay grounded. Stay electrified. To all my followers and listeners, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
This has been 7,000 Volts, Living an Electrified Life, available on YouTube and your favorite podcast app. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. For more information, visit us on the web at ljtucker.com. Remember, stay electrified.